right, Assalamualaikum. Very good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to MCRN October webinar. I am Anis Nadia from Center for Research in Language and Linguistics, Universiti Kebangsaan Malaysia. First of all, on behalf of Malaysian Corpus Research Network, I would like to thank all of you for joining us into this webinar. I can see some of my students from UKM. If some of you are from UPM, you might want to chat or write down in the chat box where you're from so that we know your background. Once again, thank you very much for attending the webinar. Okay, so please let me remind you, first of all, if you have any questions for the speaker after the talk, you can ask after the session, and you can also write down in the chat box. Okay, and we will also share with you the link for certificate of participation at the end of the workshop, so please stay tuned. Okay, I would like to welcome our speakers, Dr. Azhar Jaludin from Universiti Kebangsaan Malaysia, and our friend Amizan. Amizan, are you here?
Yes, I'm here, Doctor.
All right, great. Okay, thank you very much for your willingness to be sharing or to share on your expertise in corpus development. I have some students from my corpus linguistics class as well to learn more on corpus development because they're new. So it will be a good experience for them to learn from both of you. All right, without further ado, we'll now begin with the first session. Please allow me to read the background. Every time I have to read your background, Dr. AJ.
No, they have to. Let's just begin.
New attendees, so they should know how great you are. Right, those who don't know, Dr. Azhar Jaludin or Dr. AJ, he's a senior lecturer at the Center for Research in Language and Linguistics at the Universiti Kebangsaan Malaysia. He graduated from physics from Lakehead University in Canada, and then he completed his Master of Science in Electrical, Electronic and Systems Engineering from Faculty of Engineering and Built Environment, Universiti Kebangsaan Malaysia. And then he did his PhD in Linguistics at the Center for Research in Language and Linguistics in UKM. His research interests includes corpus linguistics, web data mining for linguistic research, computational linguistics, and also psycholinguistics. Hard to get people to replace him for psycholinguistics, especially the study of impairment, language impairment, such as dyslexia and autism. So again, we are honored to have you with us today, Dr. AJ. Thank you very much for your time. To those who don't know, Dr. AJ is retiring in January. So ask any questions that you want before he left or before he leaves for his retirement, but hopefully he'll come back to join us later on. Right, Dr. AJ, without further ado, the floor is yours.
All right, thank you. Let me share my what is the purpose of my screen sharing? Got to share my screen now.
All right, I'll let you go first.
You can share. So I just click. All right, okay. So this one, share this. All right. Hopefully you all can see this. What we call it, slides. Okay, let me go to. Right, good. And from current. Okay, all right. All right, everybody, thank you for having me. So I think this is another episode of looking at how technology, somehow rather get, influences our work in linguistics. And it seems to me that we cannot run away from technology. It's here to stay. And I think it is the responsibility of all of us to study and to get what we call it, used to the technology and use the technology for our work. For instance, like this one, today I'd like to talk about web scraping for linguists, okay? And some of you might ask like what it is, okay? So the pictures here, somehow rather show the flow of what web scraping, the flow of it, okay? So now, a few definitions of terms. I'm sure that you have heard some of these terms, such as like web crawler, okay? Sometimes we call it spider or bot. and we have web scraper and data mining. All right, so they are different. Somehow rather, some people like to use them interchangeably as if they are synonym, but they are not. Okay, a bit about web crawler. Web crawler is a kind of program that we build to browse the internet. Okay, it is to browse the internet. It visits web pages and it collects information about that web page. Okay, and usually this is what Google's do in their search engine, indexing and so on and so forth. And the purpose of web crawler is to follow the hyperlink from one page to another. Okay, somehow rather charting the map of the web. Okay, and what is also do is that web crawlers collect data such as the web page content, the metadata, and the URL structures. Okay, this is web crawler. You go all over the place in the web world. Okay, so that's one. Web scraper actually it refers to the method or the process of extracting specific data or content from the web page. Okay, so what it does, so what happened here is that the web crawler go around www, okay, and then it's point out to all these web pages, and it gives informations to the web crawler about this web page. Okay, and then it is the job of the web scraper to extract the data which is in the web page. Okay, it scrape it out. Okay, or duplicating more or less. And so the third one, data mining here, it refers to the process of discovering pattern, trend, and insight from the large data set, such as we're doing corpus analysis here. Okay, we are not collecting data, we are not extracting data. What we do, we analyze the data to discover pattern and so on and so forth. Okay, like for the web scraper, the focus is to locate specific element, okay, such as tags, images, prices in the web page, and extract that informations to the for the purpose of that study. Okay, and Mr. Amizan will show you how that's how this particular web scraping works in terms of extracting what we call it information from what we call it from business web page. Okay, and data mining here it employ techniques and algorithm to analyze and extract information, okay, about the data. Okay, so actually all these three are different, and usually in a big project, I give you a sample project towards the end of this particular webinar, that all three elements work together. Okay, but for this particular talk, I will focus only on web scraper. Okay, how it works, and it's so simple that you cry. Okay, all right. This is the definitions that every one of you should know. Okay, and then the next question is that is it legal for us to do web scraping, i.e., like duplicating the data that other people have? And then port it over to our own repository. Okay, so the thing here is that once you have made decision to scrape data, one of the most common issue is whether or not it is legal. Okay, as long as you utilize the data ethically, it is acceptable to scrape. Okay, that it is already in the public domain, which means, guys, first you got to do it ethically. It can be elsewhere. What do we mean by ethical? The data must be in public domain. Okay, it is published on the web for public consumption. Okay, so then I think there shouldn't be a problem of us scraping the data. Okay, and another thing is that when we use the data, we must use it so that it will not somehow or rather harm the owner of the data. Okay, so well, I think it's illegal. Okay, as long as it's in public domain. But I found out quite recently that many of the newspaper website especially the Malay newspaper website, has employed a blocking mechanism. They did not allow a robot to come in and scrape their data. Like Utusan Malaysia, Berita Harian, they all have that kind of like blockage. Okay, so like this one, website can use strategies like IP blocking, capture forms to stop web scraping. Okay, which is happening now. So which means that whoever want to what we call it utilize web scraping techniques in getting their data need to be what we call it one step ahead of the current technology. Okay, because technology are changing and the owner of the website are aware of their data being siphoned by other parties, so they have this. Okay, whatever it is, the last part you see that we can use proxy server or VPN, okay, to web scrape, all right, incognito manner, in stealth, okay, without people knowing. So we can still doing it, okay, even though they have their blocking what we call it strategies that they employ, but because these things are made by humans, so there are always some loophole that people can still get into their website and scrape their data. Okay, whatever it is, for the purpose of our research, we need to do this. Ethicals and the data are public domain. Okay, right. Okay, so web scraping some rather flow such as this. First, the website. These are all in the form of HTML format. Okay, this is the file. Okay, and then we have software. And when it comes to software, we have two types. One's low tech, another one is high tech. And I think everybody guess low tech refer to copy and paste. That's low tech. Even copy and paste is considered scraping. Okay, so meaning that you are looking at your web page and then you just select the what we call the text and save it. Okay, so these are the HTML files, and then you extract out the information such as the text, the title, and so on and so forth. Okay, and after extractions of the data, then you would compile it as a structured data in many forms. It can be in a Corpus form. It can be in the text form. It can be in Excel, JSON, or CSV. Okay, so we can keep the data or what we call it, store it in so many different platform. Okay, so this one. So and when we keep the data here, it is in the form of structured data. Okay, which means that it has its own what we call a category, right, in that data. So this is the main idea. But for today, I just like to focus on these two aspects. Okay, about HTML and then web scraping. There are many software out there. Okay, but if you realize when you go over those software, most of them are based on Python programming. Okay, and today I'll show you a very simple Python programming that able to extract out the text. Okay, so this is what we're going to do. All right, so one more thing is that whoever would want to do web scraping, I would say they must also be also familiar with HTML. Okay, because it is in this HTML format where all the data that we want reside. Okay, the title, the price, the date, the text, the pictures, the media, and all that, they are all somehow rather mixed up in this HTML with their own code. So it is our responsibility to actually locate where this information is. Okay, and then we can extract appropriately the data that we want. Okay, because it's been my experience that when we use third-party software, sometimes they extract informations that are not in our purview. We don't want that. So it's still extracting those informations. Okay. But if you are used to or familiar with HTML and also familiar with Python programming, it is much easier to at least know the data that we gather like 90% accurate. Okay, the data is what we want, right? So that's the thing. So HTML stands for hypertext markup. Only two slide, a bit of introductions to HTML. And then this is a standard language for creating web pages, right? A standard language for creating web pages. This is if you want to see how it look like. If you open up your web page, then you right-click your button, right-click your mouse, and then at the bottom there are two things. One is they call it something about page. When you click that one, it will give you the HTML language. All right, so that the HTML language is playing at the background. It only shows the one that are readable to human. Okay, and then here it gives us a structured way to format and present content on the internet. HTML uses system of tags, okay, to define the elements and structure of a web page. Okay, this is important because when you are to extract information from the web page, then you need to understand the tag and also the code that are used in HTML. And here I say that HTML is the foundation of web development. With just a few basic tags, you can create web pages, structure content, and make it accessible to users around the world. Okay, given that rich information within the web page, so that it is worthwhile for us to scrape the information, because some of the information we really need in our work. Okay, all right. Okay, these are some of the informations. There are what we call it that can be found in the web page, just like the language, hypertext markup language, the content. We can also find the images, the links, and usually the links in the HTML we call hyperlink, because it keep on what we call it networking. It links to another what we call informations. It contains multimedia, all right? The cascading style sheets just to format the what we call it the website, the JavaScript, the main software or program language used in developing the web page. And there are forms there that we can fill in, and there are navigation menus, there are advertisement and tracking script, there are analytics code, social media integration, interactive elements, many. And I just put some extra information here when called about metadata contained in the web page. Now, this is where we find the information that we need, and we usually extract the data that we need by looking at the metadata. It is because you see that meta tags, HTML meta tags, and these meta tags or metadata include informations like web page titles, author, descriptions, and keywords. All right. So this the metadata it is important. Well, in fact, everything is important, but metadata is I think take the priority, because looking at the data here, we know what kind of data exists in the web page and whether that data is worthwhile scraping. Okay. And then we talk about structured data, cooking session, security information. Structured data here refer to data that are used by the web page to feed to the what we call the search engine. Okay, so they need some sort of structured data there. So these are the information that you can find in the web page, right? So that's what makes web pages valuable for us. Many informations. Okay, like these are the bare what we call it structure that we can find in the HTML. Like we have doc type here. And it said here, define the document type and version of HTML. The HTML here is the root element, right? And then we have head, contain metadata about the web page, such as the title. and then we do have title tag here to highlight the titles. We have body here, and also the last one, H1. We do have H1, H2, H3, H4. Okay, these are top level heading, and P usually contain the text. Okay, and usually you want to script that and include that in our corpus. Okay, and also some other tagging such as A here, and then the image and the what we call it, that we can order the information that we have, either order or unordered list. Okay, so these are all the commands that you can supply to the to the language. Yeah? Okay, and formatting, of course, and then you can find like people say P strong, V is bold. Okay, and close, and this is italic. So strong and EM is for formatting. So there are a lot of tag with different functions. And for us, if you want to get serious in the web scraping and utilizing Python programming in extracting out the information that we want, I think it is a must for us to understand HTML, okay, especially when it comes to the metadata. Okay, we have to understand it because there where we can extract the data that we want. Another thing is that some programmer, they have different way of programming. Okay, they are not, but they're still using HTML, but they are not following a tight SOP when it comes to programming, right? And sometimes there are errors and so on and so forth, and that kind of issue make the data unstructured. Okay, and if you are not what we call it careful, then you will not get what you want, right? All right, so these are some of the HTML. Okay, now, so those are a basic informations and skill that we must know, all right? If we want to get into scraping the web, utilizing Python, okay? All right, and so of course, before you scrape the data, you need to know what data you need, right, for your research. For instance, for this one, okay, this is a bit of my I call it PhD work, right? To build Malaysia's public universities news corpus. Okay, so in my case, I want to build Bahasa Melayu corpus. Okay, extracted from public universities news portal. Okay, so that's which means that UKM, UPM, so on and so forth. Okay, so I think that the purpose is clear. I want to do this one because I would like to compare, the news, from different universities in Malaysia. I want to see like, what is their priority when it comes to newscasting? Are they focusing on students' life? Are they focusing on nationals? And what are their focus? Okay, so compare between them. And I also would like to know the what we call the topic. All right, when it comes to what we call thematic or topic analysis of the news. For instance, like UKM, what are the topics that the news can be categorized into? Okay, and then we look at UPM, whether the two universities has the same categorization or thematics or different thematics. Okay, and that would be interesting to know. And from there, we can see like perhaps UPM have a different focus, all right, as compared to UKM. And then I like to compare with USM and all other universities. Okay, and from there we can see the pattern that those news in the university are focusing on. Okay, so that's one. I don't know whether people have done that or not. Okay, I've built a bit of that what we call it corpus, and given the chance like this one, I think we can do this, right? Okay, so given the scenario, okay, I'm building Malaysian Public University News corpus, right? So I'm using this flowchart more or less. Okay, first I built a web crawler, okay, and then this web crawler will I will release my web crawler in UKM news portal. Okay, so you'll go all over what we call it the news portal in UKM and bring back all the URL or all the addresses which contain the news from UKM. Okay, and then back to my repository, which means that I have all the URL which refers to all the news. Okay, just URL. The crawler will only what we call it harvest this URL, okay, and keep it. And the same will go to UKM, UPM, USM, UITM, and all the MM that we have in Malaysia, okay. And then I will keep those file, the URL file, okay. And those URL will be processed offline, okay. So the job of the crawler is to go and harvest all those URL, okay. And then after we completed harvesting all those URL, then we start to scrape each URL, okay. And then scraping here, I like to keep the title. I like to record the title, the date, and also the URL, and also the text. Okay, so those information will be kept in either Excel or CSV file format. Okay, I will have all those data. All right, so the scraping will do that. It will extract out the data from all the URL and then safely keep the informations in a structured Excel data or CSV data, which means that I have the title of the article, I have the date of publications, I have the URL, and also I have the text itself. Okay, I already kept everything's there. Okay, so and after have done that, meaning that I have to have script it out, okay, and then in order to do further what we call it the research, then I need to a bit of do some data pre-processing. So natural language processing so will be done on each of the text so that it is clean up. Okay, then after data processing, I have my corpus down there. Okay, so having that done, having that corpus, then I can do or answer my research questions that I asked you just now. Okay, so these are the what we call it, the idea, okay, of or the method that I would like to employ when in developing my corpus. Okay, so I got to have this idea first, and how to what kind of result I want from the scraping. Okay, and after done this, I'd like to show you just the scraping. I will not show you the crawling. The crawler I built myself, okay, to crawl all over the web, okay, and then the scrape. Same goes for scraping and data processing. Okay, but for this particular sample, I like to show you this one. Okay, this is the shortest, the easiest way of extracting the text. Okay, from the web page. Usually one web page containing one major text. Okay, or like this one, this is the what we call it, the header, the command of installing what we call boiler py3. Okay, and then these are all instructions in Python. This is how they're doing it. Okay, first if you don't have the library, you install it. After we have installed it, you call the module in the library, and after that you start giving instruction, just as this one. Okay, it called like save the URL or the HTML language in this particular URL or website to and a variable called document. All right. Okay. And after we have done that, we give the instructions. I like to know the content of the URL, i.e. the text. Okay, this is the command dot content, and then I like to know the title. Okay, of the document. All right, that we download. So this is the instruction doc dot title. All right, and then this is what we get. All right, this is what we get from the two instructions just now. So we have here like print document title. So the title is managed to get the title, and then the content. All right, these are all the content. Okay, that we got from the URL. Now having these two elements, in fact, we require a bit more programming for us to extract other informations, but these informations can be safely saved in the Excel file. Okay, so these are the what we call the scraping that we do. Okay, all right. So this is the end of the slide. But now I like to share with you. Is it all right, Dr. Anis? I like to share one more information here. Can I?
Yes, please go ahead, Dr. AJ.
Okay, I stop sharing this particular software. So I like to go to where are we? Are you the one? No. This one. Okay. All right. So if you can have a look at this particular Excel. So when we save our information from the scraping, so these are the things that we got saved. The number, the title of the what we call it of the URL. This is the URL. A bit of mistakes there. All right, and then these are the text. Okay, so this will happen throughout the scraping, so we can have thousands and thousands and thousands of informations, keeping it in this structure. Okay, so it will be much easier for us to do the processings later when the data are structured such as this. Okay, all right, so okay, one more. I hope it's there. Oh, are you here? Whiteboard. Web packs. Okay, we have this one more thing. Untitled, yes. Okay. And yeah, you're the one. Okay, share. Okay, all right. So I'd like to share with you this particular information. All right. All right. No. Sorry. Okay, where is it just now? Okay. Oh, stop sharing. Sorry. Okay. One more time. And okay. Wait up. UPM. Okay. All right. Okay. All right. Okay, so Can I share this one? Okay. All right. So this is the news portal from UPM. Okay. What is interesting about the way they keep this particular portal is that we can find all the article in 2023 in one page. Okay, more or less, these are all the news. Okay, but the danger about having this is that sometimes we also come across English news, right? So we need to have something that can recognize the English and just take the bahases, okay, for our what we call it corpus. Okay, let me try this one, and I click this one. All right. Okay, this is the news from UPM. So the things that I need now from this particular page is that I don't need other things. You know, I just need the titles and also the text, not the pictures and anything else. Okay, so the things to do is that using the same software, I click this one, okay, and I copy it, and I stop sharing this, and I share screen with okay. Okay, okay. Right, eh? Okay, so this is the programming. I'm using Google Colabs. So now I change the address for this one. I now change it with the UPM one. Okay, and oh, sorry. Right, this is the new one. So to do this, I need to run this pip install. Okay, I'm running, this one is running live, and see what can we get from this one. It's done. Okay, and execute this component. Okay, it's done now. Let's look at what is the title for this document, print document title. So the title for this particular articles is Pelajar Fakulti Perubatan UPM terima bantuan blah blah blah. Okay, so I have the title. So the next one is to extract out or to scrape the text, the main text of these articles. Okay, yeah, we got this. All right. Even though there are some other information here, okay, but we managed to extract out this particular text. So the next things to do is to save these informations into the CSV file. Okay, and this only the one example from one URL. The things to do next is to have everything automized, meaning that we will scrape thousands of news articles from all the universities. Okay, I have that program, but for today, I just like to show to you that it is possible for us to extract information from the web utilizing Python, and it's very simple to do. Okay, and I think you can appreciate this if you yourself are able to do this. You know. Okay, and this I think Mr. Amizan will share with you in his talk. Okay, I think that's all. That's I think I like to share with you. All right, so I was talking to Mr. Mizano Sorotani so that we can have a kind of what we call it workshop, you know, to for us linguists to have a hands-on experience on the data extraction utilizing the technology such as this one. Okay, all right. Okay, Dr. Anis, that's it for my talk today. Thank you, and I think Amizan have a lot more to share with us. All right. Thank you, Dr. Anis.
Okay, thank you very much, Dr. AJ. So can we open the floor for the questions, or do we want to, are you going to stay here for Amizan's talk?
Yes.
Okay, maybe we can have a few questions from the audience first. If you have any questions, Dr. AJ, maybe you can ask.
Yeah, okay, no problem.
Can we see the recording of this webinar again from the same link? No sound. I'm not so sure if you can't listen. What about the rest? Can you hear?
I think I can hear very clearly.
I can hear it from my end.
I can hear.
Mm.
Maybe you can check the recording. Once this is done, we will edit the video, the recording, and upload it on YouTube channel, and we'll share with
Okay.
the participants.
All right.
All right. Any other technical questions to Dr. AJ?
Notice if you have any idea, then just send
Maybe.
it over to Rotanis there, and maybe after Mr. Amizan talk, then you can have more a clearer questions to ask maybe.
All right. If there's no questions,
Right.
or do we have? Is that a question? Do we need consent if we take it from the website, Dr. AJ?
Actually, if it is open, it's in public domain, it's all right. It's all right. Unless if when you try to scrape it and then automatically, but you cannot scrape it because of some sort of what we call barrier, then you need to ask. Because clearly that particular what we call it group don't like their data to be scraped and used used by other people. They need to know where their data go, so yes, consent, if you've when you collect the data, then it's stated there, okay, so you need some consent from there, then go ahead, ask for consent. If it's not, then you can scrape it, okay.
Sorry, I was muted. Okay, another
Okay.
question for you. Is there any third-party software that you would recommend for the Python unsavvy?
Oh yes, there's a lot, okay, a lot out
Yeah,
there, okay.
beginner.
Yeah, but to me, if you learn a bit of Python, and there are a lot of modules in Python programming that you can utilize to do the scraping, So I like to share with you today, maybe before the retirement, perhaps, and we can do this Bengkel at UKM, and perhaps whoever like to join us, just come and join me with the group of us over here. So we got no
Yes.
problem with that.
Right. Or maybe Dr. AJ, can you share the coding for Google Colab just now so that the participant can also try with using the link or the coding?
Okay, I tell you what, I will give you a couple of modules that you can utilize. One, we have newspaper K3. They call that module newspaper K3 that people can use to scrape newspaper data. And I think I'll share it with you later, so that we can send it to whoever here so that they can try it out. Okay? All right.
Okay. Thank you very much, Dr. AJ.
Okay. All right.
There's no more question. Maybe